The Nuggets have had a very quiet offseason with only one addition made to the roster, so today I'm taking over as the team's GM and rebuilding the 2027 Denver Nuggets. Taking a look at our team's roster, of course, we have some very good players to continue rebuilding this team around, one of them being the franchise player in Nikola Jokic and the other Jamal Murray. We are starting off in the beginning of the 26-27 season, and this here will be our rotation. So in the starting lineup, we have Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. Off the bench, we have Cam Johnson, Julian Strawther, Spencer Jones, and Marvin Bagley running a 9-man rotation. In real life, Peyton Watson has not yet been extended, but since I'm the team's new GM, I did extend him on a 4-year, $100 million contract. And taking a look in our starting lineup, if there is a position I would like to upgrade by the trade deadline or in this offseason, it's definitely moving on from Christian Brown and his massive contract. He's being paid $125 million over the next 5 seasons, and he's not really a good three-point shooter whatsoever. Before we get to simulating, I am still giving away a copy of NBA 2K27 and a copy of GTA 6 to a few of my lucky subscribers. And all you have to do to enter is subscribe, like, and turn on post notifications for my channel. Now let's get back to the video. So in the first week, we have 3 games. The first up against the Raptors and the Timberwolves and the Pelicans. Let's see how many games we could win throughout the first week. And whoa, we just lost all 3 of the 3 games. Maybe this is a sign we're going to definitely have to stop by the trade deadline to make some trades, but can we at least win 1 game here in the whoa. So starting out the first 2 weeks, we are the 14th seed with 1 win and 5 losses. If things continue this way, I'm definitely going to stop much before the trade deadline and make some trades. Right now, we'll simulate until January 1st and see if there's any trades we need to make, but we are rolling on a 4-star overall system proficiency, balanced under David Edelman. And now I'll see you all on January 1st, and there we'll decide if we should make trades or not. So of course, we are going to add Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray on untouchables, but let's add some players on the trading block. Like, I wouldn't mind if we're able to move on from Aaron Gordon and bring in some better players in return. The same for Christian Brown and Cam Johnson. And never mind about trading away Aaron Gordon, because this man has been on a heater. 20 points per game while shooting 60% from the field and 47% from the three-point line. We're not going to trade him away, but Christian Brown, 10 points per game for a player being paid $125 million is not going to cut it. So let's go ahead and throw him in Trade Finder and see what we could get back in return. There's not many good trade offers out there for Christian Brown, as you guys could see, but a trade that I actually like is this trade here with the Hornets, where we bring in Grayson Allen on an expiring contract, get rid of Christian Brown's $125 million contract, plus Grayson Allen could help us win now. 14 points per game, 4 assists on 50, 40, 80 shooting splits. He's an amazing three-point shooter, so let's go ahead and pull off this trade, plus we get ourselves a 2nd-round pick as well. Let's go ahead and make this trade with the Hornets. A big reason why I would say we won that trade is, first of all, we got rid of Christian Brown's $125 million contract, and secondly, Grayson Allen, in my opinion, would fit our system a lot better. He's one of the best catch-and-shoot players in the league. We all know that Nikola Jokic is always looking to kick it out to the key for an open shooter, and Grayson Allen could actually hit those three-pointers at a very high volume. Okay, so we're stopped here at the trade deadline, and currently our team is the number 6 seed with 26 wins and 25 losses. So we're not really doing all that good, and I did forget to mention Jokic is on expiring contract, but he's made it known he will be re-signing with the Denver Nuggets. But in my opinion, for that to happen, we're going to have to be a team that's a lot better than 26 wins and 25 losses. Which is why we are going to still make another trade, and that trade is going to be with the Atlanta Hawks. They're offering us Dyson Daniels for Cam Johnson and Spencer Jones. I don't want to give up on Spencer Jones. He's been doing pretty well for us off the bench unit, but I will give Cam Johnson and 2 2nd-round picks. So let's see if this gets it done. And they give us a counter offer. They want David Roddy for Buddy Hield. You know what? Count me in. Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. A big category our team has been struggling in is defense, which is why we're going to be starting Dyson Daniels at that starting shooting guard role. And then we're going to push Grayson Allen to the bench unit, where he could come off the bench, provide our bench unit with scoring and three-point shooting. We're stopped here on contract extension day, and I did read somewhere that Jokic is planning on waiting until next year's free agency and then going to re-sign with the Nuggets on a massive 5-year, $359 million contract, which is massive. It's going to be the biggest contract in NBA history. But for now, we are able to re-sign him here in 2K, so of course I'm going to go ahead and re-sign him on a 3-year extension. I don't want to wait until free agency and risk losing him. But I will pay him a good amount of money here. Let's go ahead and run it up to about $65 million annually. Well, actually, let's make it a little bit more realistic since he is going to be on a record-breaking contract. Let's pay him $68 million. I'm not sure how much that's going to add up to. Okay, so we just gave him a 3-year, $220 million contract, which is massive. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win his first ever MVP, Cam Boozer Rookie of the Year, Lillard Sixth Man, Wemby Defensive Player, also Most Improved Wemby, Jason Tatum Clutch Player, Mike Brown Coach of the Year, and the Knicks also going to win Executive of the Year. Let's see, okay, so we do land Nikola Jokic on an all NBA first team. Do we get any more awards? Let's take a look. So we don't land Jamal Murray, and we don't get anybody here, or actually somehow we make Nikola Jokic on an all defensive second team. I'll take it. That's of course his first all defensive team in his career, but somehow he makes an all defensive team, even though he's not really a good defender. This season we ended up as the number 6 seed, winning a total of 48 wins and 34 losses. And of course our team was not as good as I would have hoped, but at least we still make the playoffs as the number 6 seed. And now let's go ahead and take a look at team and player stats. So for player stats, our leading scorer was none other than Nikola Jokic, averaging a 25-point triple-double. 23.5 Jamal Murray, 18 Gordon, 16 Watson, 12 Allen, and 10 from Dyson Daniels. Let's also take a look at our offensive rating. So we had ourselves the 7th best offensive rating, and for defensive rating, we were an average team at place number 14, but our defense actually got a lot better in the second half of the season because before that, we were at place number 20. And now comes time for the NBA playoffs. In the first round, we're taking on the 3rd seeded Phoenix Suns, and in their starting lineup, they have Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up losing 124-106. Booker dropped 26 points, Watson 26, 25-12 Jokic, 23 Murray. Can we at least bounce back here? And no, we cannot. They also going to win game 2, 137-125. Clearly, our team's defense needs to get a lot better this offseason because so far we have been horrible defensively. Jokic 25 and 15, 23 Watson, 22 Murray. If there's anything we learned in the first round of the playoffs, it's that we're going to have to pull off some big trades this offseason to bring in much better defenders because right now defensively our team has been awful. But let's go ahead and simulate the playoffs and see what happens. So in the NBA Finals, we've got a matchup of the Spurs taking on the Celtics, and the Spurs going to win with Victor Wembanyama winning Finals MVP. Before we go into the offseason and make some trades, here are the player stats where we could assess on which players we should move this offseason. And one of the biggest disappointments was Aaron Gordon, who went from averaging 18 points per game all the way to 9.7, and his 3-point shooting percentage fell off a cliff, 17% from 3, and the same for Julian Strawther. I'm not sure what was happening here, but he went from 37% to 11. That means Strawther and Aaron Gordon are players we could possibly move in the offseason, but something we definitely need to upgrade is our team's defense. It's also time for us to say goodbye to our head coach David Edelman. Again, with the team we had, we shouldn't have been as bad as we were, so I'm going to go ahead and fire him and bring in someone new. We have options like Michael Stauffer, Joe Mazzulla, Jason Kidd, a lot of good options here. Let me go ahead and offer a bunch of contracts and we'll see which one accepts. Out of all the offers I've given out, none of these coaches accepted, but we do get this dude here, Jonathan Collins. I don't know if he's a real head coach in real life. I don't think he is, but he's still a really good head coach here in 2K, so let's go ahead and sign him for our team's future. The 2027 NBA draft, we don't have ourselves any picks at all, so let's go to team player options and see what we got to do here. For team player options, it looks like Grayson Allen picks up his player option $19 million. $7 million for Zeke Naji, he accepts, and $10 million for Buddy Hield, he also accepts. I did not know that Buddy Hield was on a player option, but we're going to have to pay him $10 million unless somehow we flip him this offseason. Qualifying offers, we do need to re-sign Julian Strawther. We could possibly sign and then trade him. Let's see how much money he wants. He wants about $12 million annually. Our team has had horrible defense, so we're going to start off by signing Marcus Smart here on a 2-year deal, and the same for Lou Dort. Amazing defenders, hopefully both will go on to accept. And I do think what we're going to do with Julian Strawther is sign and then trade him. He wants $12 million. I don't want to be paying him $12 million to shoot 11% from 3 in the playoffs, but I am going to give him an extension, and then we're going to trade that $12 million contract this offseason. Marcus Smart accepts on a 2-year $5 million, Lou Dort 2 years $5 million, and Julian Strawther on a 4-year $53 million contract. Do we try and trade for Jaren Jackson Jr.? I think we should, because he's an amazing rim protector. Having him beside Jokic in the front court will definitely help our team's defense. Jokic isn't a rim protector, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is. He can score, defend at a very high level, and this past season he was not shooting on very good shooting splits. So let's try and make this trade happen with the Jazz, sending them Aaron Gordon, Zeke Naji, and a future first-round pick. And whoa, that's all it took, so 1 first-round pick, and we bring in Jaren Jackson Jr. as our team's brand new starting power forward. Let's go. And I'm very happy with the way that trade went. We now have a new big three of Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Jaren Jackson Jr. And don't think Julian Strawther, we forgot about you. You're getting traded as well. Let's go ahead and throw him in Trade Finder and see what we could get back in return. Another great defensive player we're able to acquire is from the Houston Rockets, offering us Tari Eason for Julian Strawther and Buddy Hield. I don't expect to get a first round pick out of this, but I will see if they'll accept this trade. Julian Strawther, Buddy Hield straight up for Tari Eason, and yes, they do. Here we are at the start of this season with our brand new upgraded rotation. So in the starting lineup, we have Jamal Murray, Dyson Daniels, Peyton Watson, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Nikola Jokic. Off the bench, we have Grayson Allen, Tari Eason, Lou Dort, and Marcus Smart running a 9-man rotation. And now I feel like we have the perfect mix of offense and amazing defenders in our rotation, and hopefully that's the key to our success. But let's go ahead and simulate the first week of the season to see how we do. We do end up losing the first game, and whoa, we start off horrible once again. Just like last year, we are right now the number 15 seed with 1 win and 3 losses. But hopefully that does change once the chemistry gets built. Let's go ahead and take a look at system proficiency. Right now we're rolling on a 4-star overall system proficiency. I'm going to go ahead and change that here to balanced. And okay, there we go. Now it goes up to 4.5 stars balanced under our brand new head coach, Jonathan Collins. And there we go. We're finally starting to win a lot more games. We're right now the number 2 seed with a total of 15 wins and 7 losses. So it was the chemistry not being built. We do have ourselves a completely new lineup. So it's going to take a little bit of time for the chemistry to run it back up. I've got some very good news for us all. We have made the NBA Cup Finals and we're taking on the Boston Celtics. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we can go on to win the NBA Cup. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far we do have the lead. Never mind, the Celtics up 6 minutes going into the third quarter. Back and forth battle. Now we have the lead. Can we keep it is a question. Let's slow it down here and see what happens. 2 minutes remaining. We still have the lead by quite a bit, and we are starting to run away with it, and we end up winning 116 to 106. Jamal Murray dropping 39 points, 15 triple J, and a 12-point triple-double from Nikola Jokic, and Jokic goes on to win NBA Cup MVP, averaging a 28-point triple-double. At the end of this season, our boy Nikola Jokic goes on to win his 5th MVP, averaging a 26-point triple-double. Amazing season in the books by Jokic. Christian Anderson Jr., Rookie of the Year, Ryan Rollins, 6th Man, Wemby Defensive Player, Kyle Filipowski, Most Improved, Jason Tatum Clutch Player, Jason Kidd Coach of the Year, and we go on to win Executive of the Year. Of course, the MVP Nikola Jokic makes it on an All-NBA first team. Do we get any more awards here? Let's take a look. No one else on an All-NBA team, and we do land ourselves Dyson Daniels on an All-Defensive second team, and the same for Jaren Jackson Jr. on an All-Defensive second team. And we ended this season as I thought we ended up as the number 1 seed, but we actually ended this season as the number 2 seed with 63 wins and only 19 losses. We were amazing. The only team ahead of us was the Dallas Mavericks, but the Mavericks are always an unstoppable team in 2K, so that's not too big of a surprise. Before we jump into the playoffs, let's go ahead and take a look at team and player stats. So our leading scorer was MVP Nikola Jokic, averaging a 26-point triple-double. 21 points Murray, 17 Jaren Jackson Jr., 16 from Peyton Watson, 11 from Grayson Allen, and 11 from Dyson Daniels. Let's also go ahead and take a look at team stats here and see how we did. So for the offensive rating, we were not a top 10 team. We were actually at place number 12, which is kind of a surprise. For defensive rating, on the other hand, we were the best defensive team in the entire NBA. 12.5 rating differential, making about 13 three-pointers a game. It's now time for the playoffs, and in the first round, we've got ourselves the New Orleans Pelicans. On their starting lineup, they have Jeremiah Fears, Trey Murphy III, Christian Collins, Zion Williamson, and Derek Lively III, and this here is their bench unit. Not a bad team whatsoever. Every player is basically an 80 overall or above, so let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. 30 from Triple J, a 29-point triple-double from the Joker. Game number 2, we also win. Jokic with 37, 14, and 16. Such unreal numbers, but we know that he does this in real life over and over and over again. 21 Murray and 20 from Grayson Allen. That does put us up 2-0. Can we also win game 3? And no, we cannot. We do lose game 3, 141 to 120. Jokic with 30 and 10, 28 Murray, 23 Triple J. Game number 4, they also going to win, and now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece. 132 to 108, we end up losing. I am going to come up with a little defensive coach game plan. Alrighty, I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's jump into Simcast here for game 5 and see what happens. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far the Pels have the lead. Can we win this game? And no, we can't. We actually end up losing 134 to 127. Don't tell me it's going to be another first round exit. That would be very embarrassing. The Pelicans have home court advantage here. Can we win this game? And we do have the lead. It looks like we are pushing it to a game 7, but the fact that playing team is pushing us to a game 7 is not really the best thing ever. Zion Williamson 24, Jokic 46-11, 21 Triple J. Let's go into Simcast here and see what happens for game 7, where we do have home court advantage. Thankfully, we start off pretty strong and we will be winning 149 to 116. Jokic with a 29-point triple-double, 23 and 12 from Jamal Murray and 20 from Watson. In the second round of the playoffs, it looks like we're taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And in their starting lineup, they've got themselves LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Ayo Dosunmu, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. And this here is their bench unit. They were the number 6 seed, so let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Triple J 29, 29 and 13 from Jokic. Game 2, we also secure the win. We win game 3 and we do not sweep them, but we do go on a gentleman sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jokic with a 32-point triple-double, 28 Murray, 24 and 10 from Triple J. And now we've made the Western Conference Finals, and of course we're taking on the Dallas Mavericks. The 1-seeded Dallas Mavericks, they won more games than we did in the regular season, so it seems like at least in the regular season they've been a better team than us. In their starting lineup, they have Kyrie Irving, Dennis Jenkins, Zachary Risache, Cooper Flagg, and Daniel Gafford. On paper, our team would destroy this team in real life, but of course in 2K simulation, the Mavericks are always unstoppable. Like, look at the difference here, but it's still going to be a very tough challenge. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up losing 115 to 110. We fall short. Triple J 27. Can we at least win game 2? And yes, we can. Jokic with 43, 10 and 8, 22 and 10 from Murray, 16 Grayson Allen. Game number 3, we also end up winning, and whoa, Jokic just had 43 points, 20 rebounds, and 15 assists. 32 Murray, 18 Eason, and 14 Grayson Allen. Game 4, we do end up losing, and now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece. I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. What I did is put Dyson Daniels on Kyrie Irving, since Kyrie Irving's averaging 26 points per game, and Triple J on Cooper Flagg, since he's averaging 30 points per game. Will that make a difference? Let's see. Let's jump into Simcast for game 5. The Mavs do have home court advantage, and so far we have the lead. Can we keep it? And yes, we can. 115 to 108, we end up winning. 38 Jokic and 16 from Watson. Let's go. And Dyson Daniels played amazing defense here on Kyrie Irving, holding him to only 13 points, 5 of 12 from the field, and no 3-pointers made. All we have to do now is win one more game. We do have home court advantage, and so far the Mavericks have the lead, unless somehow we can come back from this, which we do, and we end up winning 105 to 99. Jokic with 34 points, 26 rebounds, and 10 assists. Jokic goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging a 30-point triple-double. Trae Young, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, which means we're taking on the Washington Wizards in the NBA Finals. In their starting lineup, they have Trae Young, Bilal Coulibaly, AJ Debonsa, Anthony Davis, and Alex Sarr. And this here is their bench unit. Very stacked team, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not sure how they were the number 6 seed and not the number 1 seed, but this team is very stacked. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up losing. 116-112, we fall short. Can we bounce back in game 2? And yes, we can. Jokic with a 42-point triple-double, 21 rebounds, and 13 assists. 26 Murray. How has Murray been doing? Amazing. 50, 40, 80 shooting splits. 24 from Triple J. Game 3, we also win. Game 4, we also going to win. Jokic with 34, 20, and 10. 29 Murray, 22 Triple J. And are we going to gentlemen sweep the Washington Wizards? Yes, we are. And just like that, we win the Denver Nuggets a championship with Nikola Jokic winning Finals MVP. And that is amazing. I am going to run it back another season to see if we could win a back-to-back championship. But before that, let me show you guys the player stats. So here are the player stats for the playoffs. In case you guys were wondering, Jokic was averaging a 26-point triple-double, 21 Murray, 17 Triple J, and 16 from Watson. What I'm going to do is sim past the entire offseason, past the entire next season, and I'll see you guys in next year's playoffs, and there we'll see if we're able to win a back-to-back championship. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama wins an MVP, Hannah Steinbach Rookie of the Year, Tyron Stokes 6th Man, Wemby Defensive Player Jaden Quaintance Most Improved, Paulo Banchero Clutch Player, Jonathan Collins, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year. The Spurs go on to win Executive of the Year. We do land Nikola Jokic on an all-NBA first team. Will we have any more awards? Let's take a look. We do land Dyson Daniels on an all-defensive first team, which is amazing, and it seems like no Jaren Jackson this year, but that's okay because we ended the season as a number 1 seed with 59 wins and 23 losses. I'm not sure how the Dallas Mavericks didn't do good this year. Did they make any changes to their roster? And it seems like the only addition they made is Andrew Nembhard, which should have made them better, but it seems like it made them worse somehow. But now, in the first round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they have themselves Jared McCain, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. And as if the OKC Thunder weren't already overpowered enough, they also ended up with Tyron Stokes with the first overall pick in the 27 draft. I'm not sure how that happened, but it did, and somehow they ended up as a number 7 seed, even after having all this talent on their team. Now let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. 34 Jokic, 30 Murray. Game number 2, we also get the win. We lose game 3, and we also going to lose game 4, and now this is where I have to come up with a defensive coach game plan. The series is now tied at 2-2 apiece. I've come up with a defensive coach game plan, so let's jump into Simcast. We do have home court advantage for game 5. We start off the first half pretty strong. It looks like we will be winning 156 to 108. We almost defeated them by 50 points. Jokic with a 32-point triple-double, 28 triple J, and 24 from Murray. We still have to win one more game. The Thunder do have home court advantage, and so far they have the lead here, and it looks like we're going to lose unless somehow we come back. We almost came back in the fourth quarter, but sadly we do end up losing. Triple J played good, Jokic 17, he did struggle, and so did Murray. And now we're in a winner-go-home situation. Time for game 7. We have to win this game. We do have home court advantage on our side. But so far the Thunder have the lead here unless somehow we come back, which we kind of do, but they still have the lead here. Fourth quarter, can we push back? We do take the lead from them, 109 to 106. Back and forth battle here. We have the lead, 111, 115. And we're kind of trying to run away with it here in the fourth quarter unless somehow they come back. And yeah, we won this game. And we do end up winning. They almost came back there in the fourth quarter, but 133 to 130, we secure the win. 22 Watson and 19 Triple J. In the second round of the playoffs, we've got ourselves the Sacramento Kings, who have themselves Darius Akuff, Bilal Coulibaly. Whoa, Bilal Coulibaly jumped up to a 90 overall. I did not know he progresses this well in 2K Simulation. Keyshawn George, Julius Randle, and Jay Mogbo. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. 37 Murray, 20 from Triple J. Game 2, we fall short. Game number 3, we end up winning. Game 4, we end up winning. And we go on a gentleman's sweep, the Sacramento Kings, and of course, here's our kryptonite, the Dallas Mavericks. We're taking them on in the Western Conference Finals. They have Kyrie Irving, Andrew Nembhard, Reese Shea, Cooper Flagg, and Morris Johnson Jr. Let's see how things go here. Can we defeat them? Game number 1, we do end up losing. And well, we also going to lose game 2, and now I definitely have to come up with a defensive coach game plan. Defensive coach game plan has been set. Let's start jumping into Simcast here for game 3. The Mavericks do have home court advantage, and so far they do have the lead here, but we come right back. Can we keep this lead? And it looks like we can. We ended up winning 93 to 88, both teams with amazing defense. 27-15 Jokic, 18 from Jamal Murray. Still have to win this next game to top the series. And so far, the Mavericks do have the lead by quite a bit. Can we come back is a question, and it looks like we cannot. 115-106, we end up losing, and now we're down 3-1. The Miami Heat have already made the NBA Finals, sweeping the Chicago Bulls. Continue jumping into Simcast here. We have home court advantage, and so far, we do have the lead. They take it right back. We're up by a few points here. Can we run away with it? Let's slow this down. 1 minute remaining. We are up by about 3 points. And we do end up winning 121 to 116. Murray 27, 27 Triple J, and 23-11 from Jokic. We still have to win another game, well actually 2 more games for us to make the NBA Finals. The Mavericks continue with a home court advantage, and so far we have the lead, not by much though. Every game has basically been very close here, 102 to 198, 5 minutes remaining. We're up by a few points, back and forth battle here. Can we keep the lead? And it looks like we can keep the lead. Now the series is tied at 3-3 apiece, 115-112, Murray 25, 21 Jokic, and 14 Daniels. And whoa, Dyson Daniels was doing everything, 6 steals and 3 blocks. Another Game 7 situation. Let's see what happens here. Thankfully, we do have home court advantage on our side. And so far, we have the lead here, but not by much. And they just came right back, and they're starting to run away with it. Looks like we are okay. I don't know what happened, but somehow it ended up in overtime, but we still ended up losing 136-131. Dyson Daniels was amazing, so was Watson, but sadly Murray did struggle big time from the three-point line, and I don't see Jokic anywhere in sight, so it looks like Jokic fouled out in 19 minutes, which is why we most likely lost that game. We do end up getting eliminated, but that's okay because we were still able to win the Denver Nuggets a championship. In the NBA Finals, we have the Mavs taking on the Heat, and the Mavs go on to win with Cooper Flag winning Finals MVP. Before I end out this video, let me give you guys a quick rundown of the playoffs. So our leading scorer was Jokic, 23, 11, and 9, 21 from Jamal Murray. But that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.